Well, it's Bristol, baby, down and dirty, and our sports team's got the dusty details. So excited this morning to bring in our sports director, Kenny Hawkins, to talk all things racing as we get a preview of tonight's Trackside. Good morning, Kenny.
Good morning, Amy. How you doing?
I'm good. Did you like that? Was that a good intro there? The dirty and the dusty?
Great. I mean, I'm all revved up now. I'm ready to take a last lap.
As you should be. I know you guys are excited, man. This has been a long time coming since the announcement that this was happening.
It has been a long time coming. Here's the only advice that I give to folks: don't wear white. It has been a long. It has been a long time coming, you know, since the first time the truck showed up and they started dumping that sawdust down on the racetrack. You know, that's the first thing that they did. And then, of course, then they started bringing on the dirt and started making renovations to the track. You know, the safer barriers are down because they're not going to be going as fast that we're used to seeing them run the Food City race in the past. And, you know, bringing dirt that was housed up the street. I mean, can you believe it? 20 years ago, same dirt. I mean, unbelievable. Who thinks of that? You know, let's go put this dirt because we might use it some other time. But it's been up the road along the highway, and they bring it in, and then they start spreading it around the track. Actually, that's actual speed. That's how long it took them, just a couple of hours. No, I'm playing. It took them several days to get all of that in. You know, what's that old saying? You know, it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. This is actually the case here. It really looks nice. Looks like it's ready to go.
Yeah, man, I am so excited. I think it's just going to be so spectacular to get to watch this. You were, of course, there in 2001, Kenny, when they did this. What do you think are the big differences between then and now?
Well, without a doubt, it's the cars. You know, back then, 20 years ago, they weren't running stock cars around the Bristol Motor Speedway, late models and things of that nature. Some of the things that you would see at Bulls Gap Racetrack just down the street in Greene County. So the big difference is going to be the cars. You know, they're a lot heavier, 3,400. You know, that's going to be hard to handle sliding around this racetrack. But other than that, basically the same dirt, you know, that they've laid down. Now, they've probably added a little more mixture to get it to hold up a little bit better because they're going to be having bigger cars on the racetrack this time around.
Okay, so when you're talking about your favorite drivers, it seems like this one is going to be so different, kind of an all bets are off, but a lot of people talking about Kyle Larson going into this. What about you? Who do you think are some of yours that are going to handle the dirt better than others?
Well, I mean, that is a good question. I mean, Larson right now is probably the pick by a lot of folks, but there's a lot of other dirt racers that will be on the track this weekend. Christopher Bell, who's already found victory lane, he'll be tough. Keep an eye on him. Austin Dillon, who raced here just this past weekend in the 3 events that he raced in, he was pretty dominant. Friesen, who's going to be out there, loves to race on dirt. His wife is also racing. That ought to be interesting. You know, I hate to see that come down to the last lap. Yeah. So there's other race car drivers that have raced on dirt. To me, it's the veterans that don't have much dirt experience. You know, that's what gets me, like the Hamlins or the Mark Truex Jr.'s that he's never been on dirt. That's what's going to be interesting just to see how they will race this weekend.
Man, it's going to be fun to watch that action. And by the way, did you say that was a great question? I think I heard you say that was a great question,
I sure
Amy.
did. Amy, I love talking sports with you. Anytime, I love talking. I'm glad you sent that other guy to the racetrack today.
I had to pull some strings, you know, to get him out of here, so I would get a couple minutes with you.
That's always good. It's always good to talk racing. And, you know, obviously, you know, we got our Trackside Bristol show coming on tonight at 7:30 on News Channel 11, 7:30 on ABC Tri-Cities. And, you know, this is a program that we worked on a pretty good while. And you know, we think that we have some stories that the public's going to be interested to see. And obviously, it's the three amigos, Jesse Kroll and also Michael Epps. Who will be alongside me tonight for this Trackside show. And also during the show, we're going to be giving away sweet tickets as well. Ooh. So that's even another reason to watch.
Yeah, everybody loves a giveaway, especially coming into this weekend. So working on that, and I know you guys so much effort and back and research and put a lot of time into this. Had to have been pretty cool to get to be out at the track and sort of see it and take us through this process for the show tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, it just amazes you when you see it. I mean, you know, you can watch it on TV. We can show it to you as much as you want, but it doesn't compare until you see it and you see the level of dirt, you see the level of dust around the racetrack. You know, they said it's going to take about a month to clean up. But it's typical Bristol. I mean, these are guys that are not afraid to do anything. And of course, with that great partnership of Food City along with them, you know, I mean, this is the same group that just last year they said, you know what, we need somewhere to run the All-Star race. Hey, why not Bristol? We know they can pull it off. Several years ago, we want to play a football game and have the largest crowd ever for a college football game. Why not Bristol? We know they'll pull it off. That was the same thing with dirt. I can only imagine what's next. Amy, I can't imagine we were going to ride around with sharks in the back of trucks. I don't know, but Bristol would be able to pull it off.
I love it. I love talking with you, man. I think we should have just a 60-minute show, and we'll just do the Kenny and Amy show.
No, Amy, don't give Toby any ideas, okay, please.
I know. The man has to sleep at some point. Hey,
Exactly.
Kenny, thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Anytime. Thanks, Amy. Have a great day.
All right, don't forget, you do not want to miss the Trackside show. It is going to be awesome. It is coming up tonight, 7 o'clock on News Channel 11. If you missed that, 7:30 on ABC Tri-Cities. So 2 opportunities to watch, and don't forget, you could win as well.